Hello, my name is Sebastian. I'm here to present you the Steam Cafe program, an idea on how Valve could create a network of retailers worldwide that would distribute Valve's products. I need to precise at this point that I'm not talking about Valve owning its own retail channel. I see this concept as a possible evolution of the old Cyber Cafe program. I will explain it better later in this presentation. The goal of this video is to open the discussion about the future of video game retail and how Valve might already be geared to have a major role in it. In this presentation, I will talk about the concept, the benefits for Valve, the revenue sources, and the next steps. Today, Valve owns the distribution of games and is available on almost all connected devices. The main goal of the platform is to distribute games. So I was wondering, what could be done to increase the penetration of games? There are thousands of games on Steam, and the goal is to spread them as much as possible in a population of 50 million registered users. If you want to increase the number of games per players, we can start by picturing Steam as a kind of incubator, a place where people go to be exposed to games. I would like to make a metaphor to explain this better. Imagine Steam as a place where people go to be exposed to new ideas. Games are like ideas. The goal of the company is to make sure that those ideas stick to the visitors. The more ideas that stick, the more revenues the company makes. I use this metaphor because a lot more research has been made on how ideas spread into a population than on the virality of games. So to drive more revenues, it is interesting to understand how virality and epidemics works, and what factors could be influenced. The company cannot modify the games it distributes, so some games will be more viral than others by design. But the virality of a game is only one factor to create an epidemic. I'm talking about epidemics because we want games to spread in a population of gamers like wildfire. Ultimately, it isn't about creating an epidemic, it's about creating thousands of them, one for each game. The virality of something can be influenced by three known factors: increased virulence, introduction to a novel setting, changes in host susceptibility to the infectious agent. Malcolm Gladwell, in his book The Tipping Point, also made some research and created a theory that you would need three factors to create an epidemic. To establish a solid business concept, I used the work of Seth Godin, Mark Granovetter, and the authors of the Blue Ocean Strategy book. What I found while researching about virality and epidemics is a better understanding of why Steam is a powerful incubator, and some clues on how to make it an even better one. Steam is not perfect, but is still way ahead of the competition, because 10 years ago, Valve revolutionized the game distribution with the insane idea that game distribution would be the future. No one doubted that it would happen eventually, but no one saw it coming that fast. I think it is time for another revolution. I'm talking about reinventing how games are distributed in physical retail. What I found while doing research is that Valve would benefit tremendously from connecting a virtual incubator, like Steam, to a physical distribution network. Because one of the most important factors in the creation of virality and epidemics are human interactions, face-to-face interactions are the most effective way to spread ideas or the will to buy games. I'm not talking about creating a retail channel like GameStop. I'm talking about creating a new retail experience to leverage all the benefits of word of mouth, human interactions, and making Steam's remarkable experience real for the customers. What I think is possible is for Valve to design a new retail experience based on the service pillars of Steam. Steam Cafe program is about the creation of an open video game retail franchise that would use Steam as a backbone. I'm talking about bringing the catalog and the services of Steam into a retail format. I have looked into what would make this experience interesting for the customers, the retailers, and Valve. To explain what could be this new retail experience, I would like to spend some time to explain what I call the Steam service pillars. The pillars are the high-level categories of services in which you can put all of Steam's features. There are 9 of them. The shop, this one is pretty obvious. Information, the possibility to increase your knowledge about games and or your skills. Your identity, all the features that allows you to be someone in this virtual space, like your achievement and your profile. Support, the possibility to get help on the platform. Competition, the fact that you can play esport games. Socialization, where you can meet other players and your friends. Collection, you can collect in your library a lot of games. The creation with the Steam Workshop. And the experience. To recap, if we want to create a new retail experience based on Steam, we need to provide an adaptation of these 9 pillars. Of course, like for Steam, it will be an iterative process, and the deployment of the service pillars can be progressive. But understanding the role of these 9 pillars in retail will help to drive the vision of the Steam Cafe concept. So now I'm going to explain how this could be done. I'm going to give some example on how we could adapt those pillars in retail. In other words, what could you experience if you go to a Steam Cafe? First, we could imagine it more like a Starbucks for gamers, a place where you could socialize, have drinks, and spend time with your friends, but at the same time be able to buy and enjoy services related to games. Why do we want that? Because we want people to share their gaming experience. It's not anymore about selling boxes, it is about helping customers to discover new games, and exciting people enough to have them fill the games library. So, you want people to come with their friends and get excited about the games they try or talk about in the Steam Cafe. It is not the clerk that will do the sales. It's peer pressure. And because people will want to play or compare with their friends, they will buy their games on the Steam platform. So to recap, the Steam Cafe program is a place where you can go with your friends to have a good time. If you look at GameStop retail experience, you have to wonder why shops that sells entertainment are so dull. If we design it properly, the Steam Cafe program will allow the creation of a new video game retail experience where people will discover new games and have fun with their friends, making it more efficient and more remarkable. When you have a catalog with thousands of games to sell, it's not anymore about lining boxes on the shelves. It's about finding the best way to convey the message to the customers. You can imagine a place where there are lots of displays like in an Apple or Microsoft store, each presenting a different game. Think about it. Once you have been at GameStop, there's no point of coming back until they stock new games or something happens. In a place with digital displays and a catalog with thousands of games, every single time you go to the store, you can discover something new, and the more you go, the more chance you'll buy something. Of course, a place like that would allow Valve to sell physical goods as well, like Steam Wallet cards, merchandising, and the future Steam Box. A place like that would also be able to offer customer support, something quite valuable if the company wants to sell hardware. When you go to GameStop, you do not find any interesting information about games. What if, in the Steam Cafe, people would have access to local gaming news? A place where you could also be coached to learn how to play difficult games, like Dota 2. Talking about esport, we could also have the results of the local leagues displayed in the store to boost the local esport scene and egos. The esport scene is getting stronger and stronger. Imagine that in this Starbucks for gamers, there would be a small area with 5 to 10 machines maximum where the local leagues could compete, making the Steam Cafe program a way to run a network of local league arenas. This could boost the penetration of Valve eSport games, but also boost the monetization, if we combine it with the merchandising and other related products. The Steam Cafe program is about creating a remarkable experience, a human experience as well. As a gamer's hub, it would be a place where you could go to meet the local stars, the best players, and the best guilds. You could also be recognized for your own achievements. If you are the best Team Fortress 2 hat maker in the area, a place like that will help you to be recognized and also meet your customers. When I talk about a Starbucks for gamers, I'm talking about a place where you can meet people, not only your friends. This could help people create local guilds and clans, making it even more special. In the 90s, in my city, there was a local network where you could connect, a place where only local gamers could connect and play games. It was before internet became popular. I have the best memories of this period, because we were often organizing real-life meetings with the gamers of the city. The Steam Cafe program is about bringing back this local touch, making the experience real for everyone. If you think about the Steam Workshop success and all those hats people create, if we provide a place for people to meet, I believe we can give the opportunity for these creators to meet and create bigger projects. It might help to create even more important creative vibe than on Steam, with people creating local games that could be sold locally. The last pillar I will talk about is the experience. Well, it is a bit the combination of all the previous ones that I already explained. It's about creating a fun and vibrant place where people want to go, try games and meet up people, a bit like a Game Workshop hobby store or the magic of gathering meetups. The Steam Cafe is a new retail concept that is not about selling games. It is about creating an atmosphere where people will be exposed to games and providing them the information they need to enjoy them. You can think about it as using the same approach as a gaming fair, like PAX or Gamescom. What you're looking for is creating engagement and excitement. Most of the players will already have Steam, So if they want to buy a game, they will do it on the platform anyway. If they buy the game in a shop or later at home, it doesn't matter, because the Steam Cafe program gives them the benefits that no other retailer or online platform can. It is a blue ocean strategy that leverages the strength and the features currently available on Steam. I made some research to see if other industries use the same techniques and the concept of service pillars, and I found that the Apple Store actually has 7 of Steam's pillars. GameStop only has 2, but I was quite surprised to see that Games Workshop hobby stores actually have the 9 same service pillars as Steam. If you compare how niche their market is compared with Apple, you will be surprised to know that they have almost as many stores as Apple, about 400. They are the most successful company in their market. Coming back to the Cyber Cafe program evolution, I'm not sure that the company is ready or even interested in opening shops worldwide. So I thought, what would be the smartest way to do it? What about evolving the Cyber Cafe program into an open franchise management center, a place where the partners would be able to get all the information they need to open their own stores. I'm talking about providing them tools, marketing assets, information about the vision, etc. Very similar to how the other franchise works around the world. In this concept, the third parties would bring some very valuable things. They are the ones that will invest to open their stores or update them to fit the vision. They have local expertise that no one can beat. They know all the local needs, and of course, as it will be their shop and their customers, they will be driven to make it a success. All this fits into the vision of Valve as a company that would use 2 distribution channels for its products, Steam for the virtual distribution and the Steam Cafe program to run the physical distribution network. The idea is that it would help Valve to have a global reach. Today, the company is very centralized and limited in resources. What I think is that evolving the partners and the local communities in a new way would help the company to be more efficient locally. The local Steam Cafe shops would act as the local branches that foster local communities and fulfill their local needs. At this point, you might already have an idea on how all this could benefit Valve. But here's a little recap. The Steam Cafe program could help mitigate display space scarcity. The experience is no longer limited to screens, it gets real with more space to advertise games. You will also offer a new way to expose the customers longer to games, therefore increasing the retention and conversion rate. Local clerks and communities will help the customers to have the information they need. With a catalog of around 3000 games, the challenge is about proposing the right one at the right moment. And there's nothing better than a face-to-face discussion for that. Valve would also be able to be a more international company, providing local physical customer support, more local payment methods, and communicate with the help of the partners in different languages. Steam is also getting more complex with all its features. Having a place where people can get introduced and reassured about the platform would be a great asset to lower the entry barriers. Operating system dependency. I think a Linux version is helping to mitigate that. Combining it with a retail network able to distribute and support the Steam box would be a great advantage. When we talk about esport, providing a service with local arenas could also be a way to strengthen the position of the company in this field. The way I see it, there are 2 types of revenues for this open franchise program. The revenues that are for Valve and the partner, and the ones that will be exclusive for the partner. Valve and the partner would share the revenues on the following elements: the Steam wallet cards, game keys or store credits, the hardware and the merchandising. The retailer, on his side, could also make profit on drinks and snacks, hardware support, advertisement, local tournaments, coaching lessons, etc. The share of each revenue sources in the project would depend on how the Steam Cafe experience is designed. Once the Steam Cafe experience will be designed, it will be possible to forecast possible revenues. To make this project a reality, there are other elements that need to be taken care of, like the design of the features, the technical aspect, the supply chain partners, PR and marketing, the support, the legal aspect, the third-party partners, the forecasting, the P&L, the roadmap, the account management, and much more. Sounds like a lot, but it is feasible. I have done this kind of work when I was running my own company. Now, I will conclude this presentation by saying that this video is only meant to be an introduction to a concept and open the doors for further discussion and research. I didn't put all my research in this presentation to keep it short, but I think that the Steam Cafe program is interesting to strengthen Valve's future. Like any project, this concept still has to go through iteration and optimization. I would be very interested in having your feedback, positive or negative. Thank you very much for watching this presentation. You can mail me at sebastian@pacity.eu. Thank you very much again, and have a nice day.